Hi, my name is Stuart Leask of LeaskSpec, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is going to be an explanation video of a new product of mine that I've previously released in the past, and then I saw areas for improvement, so I took it off the market for a bit. I improved it everywhere that I thought that it needed improvements, and now I'm reintroducing it as a whole new item. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a second to walk you guys through all of the changes and everything that I've done to better explain what it is that's been upgraded or changed. As you can see, the product itself looks pretty similar to the previous versions. All the mounting locations are the same. If you already own the previous versions, if you've already made the AN lines, these two fittings are in the exact same location, and the drain is in the same location as before. Now, that's the basics. Let's talk about what has actually changed. Previously, this was a all aluminum sheet production material. So all of the internal baffling, all of the walls, everything that kind of created the AOS system itself was perforated holes. And then I had some packing right here on this side of the can. Why I've changed it? Well, the first thing is I think it's very important that if you are gonna put baffling or packing, for instance, in the sump of a catch can, you should always be able to have access to that packing. Because over time, as it sees oil, as it sees ethanol, as it sees any of the dangerous or dirty byproducts that come out of the motor, that packing's gonna get pretty trashed up and gunked up. What that means for you is that over time, you're gonna start seeing a lot of it exit through the filter. It's gonna be kind of something that you have to clean on the exterior. Whereas with this product, now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it to where you could take it apart, you could disassemble it, you could replace, remove, clean, or even repack if you think that there's a product that works better than what I've included in here. This isn't something that's very common for me. I'm very proud of my designs. I'm very proud of the time and the effort that I put into things, but I feel like it's fair for me to show you what it is exactly you're buying and give you basically the whole rundown and all the bells and whistles. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this apart and show you some of the insides. The first thing that you'll notice is this is a billet sump. It's billet for a couple of reasons. A, because it needs to be removable and serviceable. And B, this is the best way to make sure that it is continuously and repeatably able to seal exactly as it needs to along the edge. I'll kind of show you some of that structure here in a second, but let me show you one of the first features that I think is really cool about this drain in particular. This drain plug is nothing special. It's just a 10 ORB. It's same as any other 10 ORB off the shelf. And I've done ORB for a couple of reasons. A, if you would like to keep your drain returning to the motor or the rear turbo inlet, as I would prefer, then you can use this and you can build your own assortment of fittings or however you want to. If you don't want to return it, that's fine. You can simply just use the drain. The drain is included. What I think is cool about this is actually this piece right here. If you look inside of there, you can actually see the bolt that holds the sump to the catch can. Now, in addition to that, you can also see the slot. I'm sorry, I'll get my finger out of the way. You can see the slot, you can see the drain. So with the sump still bolted to the catch can, you can drain it and you can quickly service it if you need to. That's cool feature number one. My friend JT helped me out with that, and I am extremely pleased with how that turned out. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Now let's go ahead and get this sump off, and I'll kind of show you some of these steps in the layers of the air oil separation system and how it works internally. Now, the first thing you'll notice when I separate it is the upper sump is also billet construction, just like the lower sump. I did this again because this sealing system needs to be repeatable. So it uses a captured O-ring, like such. And this is the boss for the bolt that holds it to the actual catch can itself. And then these two tubes are actually where the catch can feeds into this lower sump. So all of the air oil separation system starts down in here. It has to make its way through the packing that I've included in the product itself. And then once it's made its way through the packing and some of the remaining air starts to escape, it can escape through this slot right here. Once it's through this slot, it will end up in this midsection of the housing. It cannot bypass these fittings and go straight to this section. It has to go down to the sump. It has to go through its separation process. It goes here, and then I'll show you some of the packing that I have in this area, as well as the division wall that kind of makes it to where oil has to fight to make its way out. Air is one thing, but you want to do as much steps as possible to make sure that oil can't just slosh or escape, and that's what I've tried to do here. What I've done for the packing on the sump is I've used a stainless material so that it's rust proof. It doesn't have any sort of degradation over time. Again, this can get dirty, this can get clogged with oil, ethanol can go through it, this can get rather disgusting. That's the reason why I have used a cheap material, so that if you find that your catch can is consistently venting dirty air or just oily byproducts or anything along those lines, take off the sump, take this piece, replace it. It's an off-the-shelf item. It's easy to find. If you don't want to order it online, it's as easy as just finding it at Home Depot if you prefer, and then just repack the sump itself. To make assembly easier, I've got a standoff spacer. I've captured the actual bolt itself, and everything aligns pretty easy. Every time you want to reassemble the sump, all you have to do is just make sure that the wrench is on the bolt. And that is how the sump is assembled on the bottom end. Now, let's talk about what's going on inside of the catch can. As I explained earlier, all the air is forced down into the bottom of the sump. It has to go through a degree of separation. It ends up here. Then there is a division wall right here on the can, and then it enters the third area. I previously used a packing mesh on this stage of the catch can. It did work to a degree, but I have been a lot happier with the K&N filters. So what I did was I actually upsized this can a little bit so that it could house this filter right here. I feel like it does a far better job of making sure that all the air that comes out is just a little bit cleaner. So again, I've just kind of made the switch over to those in general. You'll see that I've done another stage of packing in here. And again, I used the exact same material that was down in the sump, so that whenever you find that this is oily or dirty, or you're getting a lot of air byproduct, you could simply take this out and remove it and replace it with something new. Again, you could probably replace both of those baffle pieces for $3-4 tops. And to me, that's very cheap insurance to make sure that your product is something that can last, that's serviceable. And again, if you find that there's a better product or something you like more, essentially it's upgradable. You can see inside that, well, there's a partition wall with a curve at the top to prevent any sort of oil slosh that's in that chamber from just easily making its way over. And then again, as I had shown you previously, there will be packing, and then there's the K&N filter, and then there is the nameplate that I like to put on most all of my products. And that's that. It sits where the ABS system used to be. So this is specifically for cars with ABS deleted. I also offer a combo catch can for cars that do not have ABS deleted, and it resides where the battery previously was located. The combo catch cans are an oil catch can with a lot of these same systems and provisions incorporated, and they also include a built-in coolant overflow. So those are the two catch can products that I currently offer for R32. This product will soon be expanded to R33 and R34 for those that are interested. And if you have any more questions or any more comments, any concerns, if there's anything that you think I might have missed, or if there's any sort of product that I already offer that you feel like you would enjoy the same technical explanation on, please feel free to let me know, and I'd be happy to do more of these videos. In fact, I'm kind of just doing this to see if this helps you as the end user kind of figure out what it is that I offer, or if you kind of find this to be a nuisance. So anyways, I'm always open to comments. I'm always open to anything along those lines. Let me know. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to watch more.